dominant. Just dominant.
Let's go.
Defense optional. Defense less dominant than whatever. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge. We are streaking to 3 straight wins for the Denver Nuggets. Feels so good.
Oh, doesn't it?
Feels so good as the Nuggets get a monster win. Listen to the score of this one, you guys. 141 to 128. Nuggets gave up 128 points and covered the spread.
Easily.
Well, by a point and a half.
Don't forget to mention how many threes they gave up versus how many they made.
The Nuggets made 4 threes tonight and got 141 points. Unbelievable. This game doesn't make sense. Nothing we are going to talk about makes any sense tonight. This is the most nonsensical game of the entire NBA season, not just the Nuggets season, the entire NBA season. And we're going to break it all down. First, we're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. We used promo code DNVR tonight when we signed up. And that man over there in Dev's chair handed out nothing but winners tonight. My God, Winningsburg's in the house.
I mean, if you're going to come on the show and be asked to be the betting expert, you got to deliver.
How much money? I mean, honestly, the people really made some money tonight. How many bets was it? 4?
I gave out 3.
You gave out 3.
Yep.
It was a winner. I don't remember if I hit my bet. I don't think I did.
We
I
did
said
not
Bones
hit.
threes, Bone 3 threes.
We had constructed what would have been a successful same game parlay, but then we withdrew the Will Barton 3-pointers and replaced it with Bones 3-pointers, which was ill-advised.
Never
Will
listen
Barton
to
4
Adam.
of 8. Never. That is the truth. Never listen to me.
This is advice that I've learned many times, yet I seldom take.
D-Line-Co's the one over here complaining.
What's up, guys?
Remember what you specifically talked about being 2 down? Don't bring that negative energy. The Nuggets won. Were there some problems tonight? Yes.
Yeah, that's right. We had 98 points in the paint. That's pretty good.
This is a hilarious game, man. Like, thank God they won. If they would have lost, it would have also been dumb. It still would have been funny, but in a sad way. But look, a win is a win, and a 13-point win is great. I'm telling you, Malone, it's going to take all of his energy, every fiber of his being, not to be pissed about this game.
I feel the same way. I can completely
Are you
relate.
serious?
If we would have gotten one Bones 3,
the Bones 3 is what's going to hold him up.
every fiber of my being was based on that.
Bones played good tonight too. That's what's
so good.
That's what's
I know. That's
funny.
the worst part. Is I'm going to flame him for no good reason.
Just because of your bet is all. All right, guys. Let's get in. You guys want a little fast breakdown here?
Oh, break it down, dude. Fast AF.
We're going to run through this one here. By the way, we got both Vogt and Harrison Wind at the arena tonight. Why? Because old friends are in town, and they went off tonight.
Hell yeah, dude.
So we're going to hear both from the Nuggets locker room, but we're also going to hear from the Wizards locker room. Should be good. No defense. I have this note here. It says no defense to start the game. Little did I know, I could have just started with no defense.
Can I give you the first quote from Michael Malone?
Oh,
after
I
the game
can't
from
wait.
Our very own Harrison Wind. There is no defensive player of the game tonight because there was no defense in the game.
Malone is so funny. I mean, like, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. But, like, clearly these notes aren't working. You know what I mean? The, like, downer. He just won by 13. You have a 3-game winning streak. Clearly this note doesn't work. But he can't. He's not playing a part. He's literally can't help himself. He's so pissed that he can't be happy about this one. Just ream the team, I'm sure. No defensive player of the game.
I mean, if you're going to get a layup on every single play, like, why play defense anyway?
I think this is.
I mean, those two don't have to be connected to one another, but fine.
I think this is how these very Nuggets feel. They're like, "What are you worried about, man? We're scoring every time."
That's an all-time Nuggets record, by the way.
What's that?
98 points in the paint.
Is it really?
Yep.
Hell yeah! We just witnessed history.
We just witnessed history.
And it should have been 100.
Is it unset? You're pretty. You're just pissed all around.
There's no joy, right? What's there to be happy about? 98
Downstairs
points
there
in the paint, 8 assists for Jokic, no
2
triple
threes for
double,
Bones.
2
Triple double.
Tonight was an abject disaster.
Downstairs, he called it a blue balls game.
Blue balls game.
I was going to save that for off air, but
Well, there we go. Bring it out to light. All right, perfect. No defense to start this game, but Jokic playing bully ball. Man, I just could have stopped there and just said that was the entire game. These were my first 2 notes. I also had in here AG playing bully ball. And he was early on 4-4, I think.
Dude,
just
he's like the prettiest bully there is.
He is a pretty bully, man. But he was playing bully ball early on. Nuggets missed a few. It's funny, early in this game, Nuggets couldn't really. I felt like they should have been up 15, but they kept blowing all of the chances to go up big. They had fast breaks, and they just kept like fumbling the ball or missing the layup.
the goddamn Wizards would just hit a bunch of threes.
They would, but even with that, Denver had these chances where they're up 6, 3-on-1 fast break, and get nothing out of it. And you're like, man, that would have gone up 8, would have gone up 10, whatever. But there was a lucky break at the end of the first quarter, and it actually, these things are sneaky important. Bones got fouled shooting a 3 with 0.6 seconds left, and it made Denver go up 38-31. It would have been 35-31, and it would have felt terrible. You're up 7, and you're kind of like, well, no defense, and they're up 7. Then you get into the second quarter, 8-0 run for Washington immediately. The Nuggets do this to us every time. Every time you're like, all right, well, they're up 7, so they're fine. 1 minute of happiness before it's all erased. And guess who was the culprit?
Will Barton.
And?
Monte Morris.
They were just taking it to Denver, man. Those guys. Will Barton in particular was just making everything. Nuggets couldn't, I put on here my note, Nuggets couldn't stop a middle school team. That's my note here. They really, the effort energy level tonight was so bad. Jamal Murray was moping up and down the court. He looked like he was so sad tonight. Honestly, like, I want to be mad at Jamal for the effort he played with tonight, but I went from mad to concerned. Honestly, like, he played tonight where I'm like, I hope he's okay, man. Honestly, that's how bad he was tonight, effort-wise, emotional. He just looked sad. 72, Jokic is dominating the second point, just the second quarter. Some of the post-ups he had were laughable, man. Like, honestly, he should have made it look like he was trying harder than he was, because it's insulting how little he was trying, and he was dominating. 72-67 Nuggets, and nothing felt good. Third quarter, I start with Nuggets playing so lethargic. Jokic had enough. There was a timeout or something, and Nuggets were playing so bad, offensively and defensively. Jokic had a moment. We all noticed it where we're like, Jokic's had enough, and he scored 10 in a row.
Well, quick note on a game that was this high scoring, there were no points scored by either team for the first 2 minutes of the third quarter.
Crazy, man. You're right. It was scoreless for 2 minutes.
What the hell was this game?
It's the dumbest thing that ever
biggest
happened.
Statistical anomaly in 18 different ways.
So Jokic scores 10 in a row, and then Jokic gets a switch. He clearly was in beast mode, right? We don't always see aggressive Jokic, but he was like, you know what, F it. And then he gets Deni Avdija switch onto him, and Murray takes a 3 from 35 feet away. It was the weirdest shot I've ever seen in my life. Like, he was mad or something, and I don't know what he could have possibly been mad about. It was so noteworthy, I marked it in here, even though it was inconsequential. And then I have in here, Jokic in that third quarter as dominant as we've ever seen. Really all game, but the third quarter, I think, was his best quarter. Nuggets 102-95. And you kept looking at, they kept getting threes, Washington, and you kept looking at it going, Jokic scores every time down the court. How are they only up 7?
This close?
How are they only up 7? Jokic literally scores every time. Fourth quarter, Bruce starts the quarter with a coast-to-coast and then a pick-and-roll lob. Remember how dope that was?
Yep.
Pick-and-roll, great lob to him. And then right after that, Bones has a half-court lob to Jeff Green, and you thought, all right, game's over. No. Nuggets just kept giving up threes. It was like they were handing out wide-open three-pointers tonight.
To be fair, the game was over at that point. But
it should have been over at that point.
It should have been over.
It should have. I don't think it was over at that point. It got down to 5 again.
I guess so, sure.
Nuggets kept giving up threes. Bones hit a 3 that felt enormous. We wanted one more, yes, but little pick and roll with Jokic. Both guys go with Jokic, and Bones gets to take a breath, and then hits it. And it just felt big. It felt like, man, they needed that. They're going to win. And I thought down the stretch, Jokic, Bones, 2-man. Murray didn't have anything going tonight. He did hit a corner 3 that was, kind of a clincher, but it wasn't Murray, Jokic, 2-man game down the stretch. It was Bones, Jokic, 2-man game, and Bones getting the ball to Jokic so perfectly. Honestly, Jokic's best shots are those where he's walking down the middle of the paint and just floats it in. And Bones got him 3, 4 in a row. It was such a thing of beauty.
Well, and that's what was frustrating about that Jamal shot is Jokic had 3 in a row, easy ones, and it was like, oh, he has a mismatch, just give it to him and let's do this 4 times in a row. Or you can just, it almost looks like an after the whistle shot where they just throw it up for no reason.
It wasn't even close.
I can't even hate on him because it was so weird, man. I don't know if something happened. You know what I mean? It was so weird.
It's true. It is true. The anger turns, as you say, into concern.
I'm genuinely concerned for Maul.
Yeah, you're like, come on. Then you're like, come on.
Are you okay, man? Hey, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
And Jokic playing so aggressive, maybe there was something he knew, and he's like, bro, it's okay. I got you tonight. I'm going to try tonight. And then after the game, a Jokic Monte Morris jersey swap. Never seen that before. Jokic jersey swap.
I bet that jersey won't fit Jokic.
It'd be actually electric if he took a picture of himself wearing it in the locker room.
That pink jersey.
The pink jersey on full on tight.
Go back to Mega, dude.
It is back to... Dude, you're on fire tonight,
I
man.
know, dude.
This is great. Let's go, Eric.
I didn't catch
All right,
the
guys.
reference.
It doesn't matter. So that was the game. The Nuggets just put up crazy points, all of this. RK, you could go anywhere with this. What's your big takeaway?
The Jokic MVP train has awoken.
What?
It has left the station.
I love it. We got spicy RK in here tonight.
In fact, actually, this is gone national. StatMuse just tweeted out,
yeah.
Jokic last 3 games, 43, 14, and 8, 31, 12, and 14, 33, 10, and 9. Three-peat question mark?
Oh, I love it.
And this is the first time all season I've seen this sentiment come alive. We thought that this was the year that Jokic could take a back seat. Not a back seat, I guess, but just not shoulder the entire load.
Yeah.
And that third quarter was a perfect example of, I feel like it clicked in his head. He was like, nope, I still have to shoulder the entire load. And we were talking at the end of the game. We're like, he only has 8 assists. And I was like, yeah, remember he didn't pass once in the third quarter because he was just like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. It is funny. First of all, StatMuse, they have the best thing going where they just put up stats with artwork, and it's just every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the most popular account on all of basketball Twitter, and it's literally just the stat sheet.
With
tweeted
the
out.
same graphic
The
of
same
the player.
you make one graphic, and it's great. We should have thought of this idea. The MVP stuff's funny. Tim Bontemps, I've already told you guys, ESPN always does their poll. I get to be part of that where they do like 2 people from every single market or something like that. I put mine in. I had Jokic third. So I honestly am very curious to see where he comes out because I think he's actually.
You did
gonna
have
be
him in the
sneaky.
conversation.
I had him in the conversation. But the point is, I think that people really are going to have him like in that hovery spot. You go on ESPN, you go on like NBA.com. They keep having him like actually sneaky higher than you think. Because I think it always gets down to like, you look at the stats, you look at the record, and you're like, yeah, that's pretty impressive, man. Like, oh my God. Tonight, of course, we'll put him on the map even more so. Good big takeaway. Eric?
Did we even mention that this is Yokmas Eve?
Oh my God, it is Yokmas Eve.
I saw it in the
It is
comments in the pregame show.
It is a Yokmas Eve miracle.
Oh my God, a Yokmas Eve miracle. You're so right.
Can you believe this?
He both is the one that leaves the cookies and
eats
the
them. He eats
cookies.
the cookies.
He really is.
He eats, and then and he gets shamed for eating the cookies.
That's a really
the
tough turn there at the end.
Yeah, what other takeaway? I mean, really, like Nikola Jokic. Like that is just the most dominant performance I've ever seen in my entire. The most hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Like every time he scored in the third
giggled.
quarter, we just were giggling uncontrollably. Like we couldn't stop laughing because like
That's
it was
Jokic Nirvana when you reach the giggle
yes,
fits.
yeah, we're just like
Giggle fits.
he just throws the ball up and
Full
like
giggle fit
it just
tonight.
like hits 3 parts of the rim, then falls in every time. Like he doesn't leave the ground. It's just so. I mean, the word it's effortless, but like looks like he's not giving effort. Like, you know what I mean? Like not quite like he's so graceful. It's effortless. Like he just has to go like that, and it just goes in. Like he just can't. The man cannot be stopped. Like I really hope that it really is Yokmas. Like we've really hit Yokmas now, and like he's really now gone into that place where he's like, all right, game on, season on, let's go. And we just get things like this nightly. Like Jokic at a moment, like at one point, just decided like, F it. I'm okay, fine.
Yeah.
Like I'm not passing to you guys.
Right.
Like, I'm just give me the goddamn ball. Like I'm gonna
And
score.
I love that about him tonight, by the way.
Me too.
It was needed. He knew it was needed, and he was like, F process tonight. We're not doing the process thing. We're clearly not going to get better tonight. Nobody showed up to play. So I'm just going to batter ram our way to the most efficient 40-point game ever.
Dude, the chat's on fire. 'Twas the night before Yokmas. Miracle on 43 points.
I love that. Yeah, that is good stuff,
I know,
man.
dude,
Chat
the
bringing it.
Chat is bringing it, man.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned, though, just the giggle fest or the giggle factor of it, because there was a great line that didn't make it into the documentary that from Mishko, no less. And he's actually talking about Drazen Petrovic, and he makes the point, he says, I think Drazen, of all players I've ever watched, is the closest to the artist. That's what he's saying. He's the most artistic basketball player he's ever watched. It's his favorite player. But he says Jokic is the closest to the comedy. He's like, whenever I'm watching him, I'm always laughing. Tonight was the ultimate laugh your ass. I wish we did a watch along tonight. By the way, we're doing one Friday for the Laker game. I wish we did it tonight because it really was us laughing like school children.
It went in between us complaining miserably and then laughing hysterically. Like we're like, no DG, come on, no D again.
That's
like
so
just
true.
Back and forth. It was just absolute nonsense. This game was nonsense.
I said it when early. I think it was pretty early in the game, but I said Jokic shoots the highest percentage in the league on shots where he should have been given an and one and wasn't.
It's true.
Like he gets fouled
100%.
That's such a great take. Goes in.
It's 100% of his shots.
It's actually part of why he never gets calls is because you know when a ref has the 50-50 call and if you miss it, they'll call it. And if you make it, they don't. And he always makes it. And they're like, you made it. I'll let you have it. And he's like, God damn it, my life sucks.
He's like, have you seen my arms?
By the way, he does this actually once a year where he'll get one. Sometimes it happens
And then
twice, and it stays for months, maybe a month or two. He's got the one from
dude, it's like
that one's there forever. It's
how you age Jokic, like the rings of a tree. You just like have the massive scars on the back. You're like, oh, you've been in the league for 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, dude.
They used to say actually that Phil Jackson would do a different mustache hair combo like every year so that people couldn't take photos of him and say they were modern or something. And I feel like that's Yoke. You got
so wild.
That is a wild take that he would always do something.
That is
different.
true. We were like, wait a minute, we can carbon date that. We
can
scar date this. That's
so
clearly
true. Someone's gonna have a picture of like Anthony Davis hitting a jumper, and we're gonna be like, no scar.
No
on
scar,
those,
dude.
The scar on that one.
Yeah, he still had his baby arms.
2017.
It kind of looks like he has like the like most '90s tattoo, the armband of
like a
barbed wire.
Yes.
The barbed wire.
He should turn it into that. Truly.
I was saying he should turn that scar into the scar on the Joker's face and get it tattooed around.
It's right. But Von Miller did do that on his knee.
Oh.
He did what?
He used his knee scar from his ACL.
To turn it into a Joker face.
That's I don't. I mean, whatever.
That's thievery.
Everybody gets to make their own tattoos. You don't get to make fun of people on their wedding day, and you don't get to make fun of people for their tattoos. You can make fun of people you don't know.
I literally made fun of basketball players for their tattoo on the timeline tonight. I said, what percentage of NBA players or basketball players have a basketball tattoo? I think it's 90%.
I think there's always one.
I was looking, every player on the court had a basketball somewhere on their person.
You know what? I'll bet basketball is important. I was going to say.
Are you saying ball is life?
This tracks, though. This
literally
really
life. We should get microphones.
I know, true.
Jesus, this is so dumb.
You see how stupid that sounds now?
we were really slap happy. This game wrecked us,
it was this game, man. It like put us into a weird headspace.
Yeah, it really did. 14 rebounds also. By the way, here's a take for you guys, and I don't really believe it, but maybe this was like the Louis C.K. But maybe the Nuggets lost back in 2019. Or was it 18? 2018. They lost the Minnesota Timberwolves. And who was there just fouling the shit out of Jokic all game?
Taj
Gibson. And I feel like Jokic has a little more of this than we give him credit for, of the like, I'll never forget this. And every time I ever go against you, I'm going to have a hilariously dominant game. And tonight, like, Taj Gibson's old. I mean, he's not like a good player. They were shorthanded tonight. You know, they were missing some guys. But tonight, I feel like he was just like, no, I'm going to like make sure you know that was the old me. You beat me at a point in my life when I was just not quite good enough. By the way, I had 37 in that game. I kind of kicked your ass individually. But never again will you ever be able to, like, even
push me around.
Yeah, just even contain me a little bit.
Yeah.
It is funny, he had 37 in that game and 43 in this one, so it's like not that much more.
Yeah, Taj Gibson is 100 years old. It's not like not much of a lesson anymore. But you're right. Like, Jokic does this where he, even in the course of a single game, where like he'll go up against a player that's like super athletic but not that bright, or you know, like just doesn't like play a super intelligent style of game, and like Jokic will kind of toy with him, and by the end he'll just absolutely start schooling him.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I guarantee. I mean, that's the one of the prime tenets of a knot, is it not?
I want to hear from a opposing fan where they rank a Jokic dominance in terms of the most dejecting ways to lose. Because, like, I was talking about this with Eric. Like, yeah, Steph Curry hits, like, 12 threes. Like, that's a terrible way to lose. Dame can do that, too. But, like, what does Jokic just getting layups all night feel like?
That's so true. I don't ever want to know what it feels like. I will crush my soul if I ever have to, like, go against Jokic as a fan or whatever.
God,
it would really honestly ruin me. I would have to find a new career.
I know, because, like, even if it was Serbia versus the United States.
I'm going for Serbia.
That's what I'm saying.
Me?
Like, we would never.
This has happened before.
We would never be we would be like, man, fuck the United States. Let's go,
Get cooked, Anthony Davis.
Come on. But yeah, it's so true. Those other fans probably are just like, man, it's so easy. Like, we're never stopping this guy. It's helpless.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like who is? There are like players we've gone against that have just like this slow grinding, can't be stopped. But
DeRozan or something, but they're still hard. It's still spectacular. You still have the hope that it's like
it's not going in.
It's like even Dame hit like 7 straight threes in that last game, but you're like, he just needs to miss one.
Yep.
Right.
With Jokic, you're like, he's getting layups, man. He's just like bullying you under the basket.
You're like, we have to hit threes.
Yeah, we have to hit threes. We have to get them. We need to make 17 more threes than them. We only made 16 more threes than them tonight, so we didn't win.
What was this game?
Jokic also had 4 steals, by the way, and a block shot. And I'll tell you what, he had 8 turnovers. I had some people like on the timeline replying to me like, he needs to clean up the 8 turnovers. Like, whatever, guys. If all nights get bent about that, like, sure, but there's a million things you can focus on. AG, as we mentioned, 22 points himself, 8 of 14 shooting. It's hilarious to me that AG is shooting the record number. He's like 3rd in the NBA in field goal percentage, 1 behind Jokic. He's like the top 5. I think he's number 3 in 2-point field goal percentage. Jokic is number 2. Isn't that wild?
Who's number 1?
Nick Claxton, who just dunks.
Okay.
Yeah, like all he does is dunk the ball and never touches it. He dunks 3 times a game.
That's a wild. And Jokic has had like 3 dunks all season.
It actually, I saw the like most efficient scorers, and on there is Steph Curry, and everybody's pointing out like, these are all bigs except for Steph, and I'm kind of like, yeah, but Steph has as many dunks as Jokic does.
It's so true. It's so true.
So
that mid range. Is it even a mid-range
He's
shot?
not even shooting mid-rangers this year. Have you noticed?
Not. Like in the paint. Like, I don't know what you even call that.
Floater.
Like, I guess a floater. Those floaters might as well be dunks.
Yeah.
Like they're so automatic. It's just like
it's so true.
I feel like Jokic would be like, actually, most guys don't know this, but dunking is too much energy. It's a waste. It's not the most efficient scoring play.
It's so true. I do think. Oh, by the way, King of the Game is ready. We should probably get to it. Go ahead and bring that up. Who was it? Who did we award? Oh my God, we gave it to Jokic. People get mad at us when we don't always give it to him. Guys, this is why. Like, if we only gave it to him when he was the best Nugget, that'd be 80 out of 82 games a year. We have to give it to him when he's like 3 times as good as every other Nugget. We talk about this all the time.
We also get voter fatigue.
43, 8, and 14. I, for one, am offended by the size of that crown. It should have been at least 12 times that size.
Oh, you wanted a larger crown. I was going to say it's kind of rattling around his head there.
I don't know. He should have just made it span the entire photo. Really.
Just the whole crown.
Just an enormous one.
Let's go.
We were talking about AG for like 3 seconds there. He was also great tonight, especially inside early on.
Early on, it looked like AG was going to have a 40-point game. Like in the first quarter, I think he scored 6 straight points where it was like, oh my God, man. And then, when he gets cooking like that, like it's about, just have to wait a few seconds before someone declares that he's the second best Nugget on the team. And I mean, he is right now. He's the second best Nugget. Like Jamal Murray, it was. I mean, I hope we don't really even talk about Jamal much tonight.
We have to.
Notably absent. We don't know what exactly to mean or to take from that, but Aaron Gordon has just absolutely changed the way he's played this season. He is like, I mean, I feel like last year was a lot of him hanging out behind the 3-point line, like taking a bunch of ill-advised mid-range shots, 3-point shots. Although this year he's hitting those also. Like AG has just been absolutely unbridled. I don't know. He's just like doing whatever he wants. He just is. He looks like a completely new man.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. This is exactly the player we hoped that we were getting when we first made that trade.
He looks like a guy who's been here now for 2 full seasons, right? Like where he knows exactly where he fits in and where he belongs, and he fits in the perfect spot. So this is what chemistry means. Like the more you're around, the more you know, like this is my spot, that's not my spot, and he just is always in his spot doing those things.
Is it too much for me to ask for just less dribbling?
He does do it every now and then. You're right. There was one on the sideline, the baseline today where it's funny because Here's the thing, though, RK. You're not wrong, but here's the thing.
You're just an asshole.
No, yeah.
Why are we bringing that
You're
up?
not wrong. You're just no. Here's the thing, though, is the Nuggets went to Jokic a lot tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like they could have gone to him more and would have won earlier. But at what point are you like, man, you kind of have to throw your teammates a bone every now and then? Like,
isn't that sad at the NBA level? We're like, is everyone getting an orange slice?
Yeah, you know.
But it's not even as everyone getting an orange. I'm just saying, Jokic, they went to him tonight as much as they have all season, and they honestly could have gone to him just every play.
They should have.
And it would have worked. I mean, one thing I will say, and then we got to take our first break. Are you wanting to do ads tonight, RK? Is that what you're wanting to do?
You toss them. You tell me what they are, and I'll read them.
Oh, I love it. This game tonight, as much as Jokic was dominant, they played a lot of very small ball tonight because it's all they had. And it does show you, though, what is so tough in the modern NBA about building around a big is that even a crappy team can get hot on any given night. And they were hot tonight, right? What did they shoot? 49% from
49%.
On, by the way, 39 3.
And they got
ridiculous. Well, they got smacked, but they scored 128. And my point is, if you just swap out Draymond Green in that spot as the big, even though he's undersized and you could still play small ball, it just shows you, man, that those threes add up when you can score them like that. And Jokic he has to dominate to this level to outplay you just because of how much the threes is more important than two's dynamic of all of this. Denver has to get better, though, at figuring out, even when you're playing a 5-out offense like that, you got to get a little bit better at how do you close out, how do you not rotate so hard. And a big part of that, I think, is just having more aggregate length, which we still don't get to see. We'll talk about more of that, as well as Bones Highland, Jamal Murray on the other side. But first, RK is going to tell you about DraftKings.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's an easy one for me. Head over to DraftKings Sportsbook if you want to win money. If you enjoyed the 3 winners I gave out tonight, you can tune into DNVR Bets Daily every day where we do similar things like that. And you can get over to DraftKings, get in on all their incredible promotions. We had a risk-free bet tonight. Didn't even need it because it was all reward, no risk.
Man, there was no risk tonight.
What a taunting manner this ad read is to me specifically.
Well, I'm just remembering that fact that you guys loved my first pick, and then you were kind of cooled off on my Jokic points, assists, rebounds pick and my Jokic points pick. But anyways, get over to DraftKings Sportsbook.
I wasn't feeling that one for sure.
Always incredible promotions, including right now you can bet 5 to get $150. If you bet $5 on any money line, you get $150 in free bets to start your betting career off right when you're a new user over at DraftKings Sportsbook. So use the code DNVR. Of course, age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
By the way, as an aside, he handed out 3 winners tonight. Hands out winners every single day. DNVR Bet Show.
Yep.
So you can check it in. He is our betting expert. Pins and Aces.
Oh, I don't know that, Reed, but Pins and Aces has some dope gear.
You don't know? You guys don't get this
we
one?
don't have that one.
How crazy that you
any
don't
of the
get it.
50 podcasts that I do.
When it's like tailor-made for you. Pins and Aces, the official apparel partner of DNVR. You know you love their gear. Spence, our golf pro, our resident golf pro, always in Pins and Aces.
He loves him.
He's peacocking, you would say, in his Pins and Aces gear. That's how I would describe him. Peacocking. They make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, and even our favorite beer sleeve. An innovative, I love it, they call it innovative. An innovative product. Why is it innovative, Eric? Because it can store
7 beers in your golf bag, which can then go into your stomach.
It's like Nikola Tesla invented this.
It's true.
It is.
Leonardo da Vinci first came up with this.
Honestly, they would have been better off working on this.
Check out pinsandaces.com. Use promo code DNVR to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com. You got 1 week until Christmas, guys. You trying to think of that special gift for the golfer in your life? Pinsandaces.com. You want another great gift, though? Another great gift?
I'd love to hear it.
It's last minute. You got that buddy you've been wanting to spend more time with, and you're like, you know what? I don't have any plans for January 15th. And I got a buddy. What am I going to do? I'm going to buy the DNVR takeover for January 15th, which is coming up. Go ahead and put it on there. We have this great deal going on for Christmas, you guys. Last minute gift idea. It's a twofer. You get 2 tickets to the Denver Nuggets game, 2 tickets to the DNVR party bus, 2 beers from Breckenridge Brewery, 2 t-shirts from the DNVR locker, and it's $200. All of that stuff. 2 t-shirts, 2 tickets to the Nuggets game, 2 party buses, 2 beers.
2 T-shirts.
Honestly, this is an enormous discount we're giving. I don't think we're making money on this deal.
This is the best takeover of a notable building in January since I can't even remember.
Oh my God! There's no way that.
Man, wow.
Holy smokes!
I can't believe you just did that to me, man. Wow. Don't you want to be a part of it, you guys? We're storming.
We're storming Ball Arena. Ball Arena takeover.
Wow, that was rough. But in all seriousness, guys, this is going to be a great one. We had Davon Reed here at the last one. I'm hopeful and optimistic we're going to get another Nuggets player, maybe one that went off tonight. So here, and I'm telling you,
Nikola Jokic.
I mean, I don't think he's going to come. I think he's like the one guy I'm pretty certain we're not going to get. But honestly, guys, that takeover should be a lot of fun. This last one with Davon was awesome. That one, it's on a Sunday, but Monday is, I think, MLK Day, so everybody's going to have that day off. It should be a great time here at the bar. And like I said, I think that's going to be our most special one of the year.
Yeah, and just to mention, like, it's not there. You have a choice of 2 separate games. Also, it's not just the January 5th game. We have also
that's true. You can do the February 4th one.
There's also the February 4th, and then there's a second deal where you could, if you're not a member, if you're not a diehard, we have a second deal where you can get the 2 tickets, all of that, but then include a diehard membership, and it's $249.
Yep, $249. So you get a discount on the takeover, and you basically save $30 on your annual DNVR diehard membership, and you get a free T-shirt. So it's a great deal all around. Again, you'll see that in the description of the show. Let's get back to this, though, guys. I want to talk about Bones Highland tonight because I thought before we get to Jamal Murray, I've been saying this for weeks, that Bones has some strengths and weaknesses to his game. Like, there's no doubt he has some defensive liability things, and I hope that as this season goes on, he gets stronger and stronger and stronger as a defensive player. But I think it is ridiculous how much it is undersold what an offensive weapon he is. And the reason I say that is Denver in the Jokic era really hasn't had a guard that can get into the paint at will. Bones plays most of his minutes without Jokic, but when he plays with Jokic, you really see it. Like, when you play with a dynamic pick-and-roll partner, you really see how easily he gets to the spot. And why does he get Jokic so well on those pocket passes? Part of it's because he passes well, but a lot of it is because he turns the corner on pick-and-roll so freaking fast that the entire defense has to react so heavily to him. He is an elite offensive player as a second-year player.
No question.
He didn't even make threes tonight, 23 points.
We know.
And the way he closed the game, tonight in the pick-and-roll was just like prime Jamal Murray-esque in terms of how much pressure it put on the defense.
Yeah, it's nice that, on a night where your primary point guard doesn't really have it, like, we have somebody that can bring that fire, bring the speed, put the pressure on the defense, like, keep them on their heels. Yep. And the greatest part about Bones is that, he has unlimited range. You don't really know what he's going to do. Like, he really can pull up from 35, or he can just get into the lane as easily as he wants. Like, he gets his shoulders turned so he just knifes right in.
It's really interesting. Like, in the NFL with pass rushers, we talk about bend and how Von Miller, that's something he was elite at because he could bend his way around the corner. Right. I kind of see that with Bones. He can bend himself around the corner and just get to that spot where it's like, okay, he's either going to get an uncontested floater or he's just going to drop it off to Jokic for the easiest shot in basketball, which is his 6-footer.
And then he had the two or three incredible alley-oops to different players. I mean, he was.
Oh yeah, he had the half-court one, and then what was the underhanded one? Who did he go to? AG? I think it might have been AG.
Yep, AG. Then threw it down reverse, and then he had the sick behind the back pass.
Oh,
to Christian Brown.
He got fouled on it. Yeah, but that was a great one. I just think Bones as an offensive weapon is it's so underrated how good he is at that. And if we were to say that Jamal Murray played with the starters as seldomly as Bones does and played with the bench as often as he does, I think we would say similar things about Jamal. He'd be better at it because he's further along in his development. He's older. He's been around. He's bigger, stronger, whatever. But Murray would not be as efficient as he is. He would also have games where man, the ball's too sticky or this or that. You put Bones out there with Yoke, and it's just insane how much pressure they put on the defense. And I have to give a huge tip of the hat tonight to Michael Malone, because Bones had a good game and Michael Malone stuck with him all the way through clutch time. He didn't come out till Jokic came out.
The one issue that Bones has is he plays for a coach that values defense above all else.
Yeah. Well, does he?
Well, I mean,
he wants to.
He wants to. I mean, that's always where his mind goes first. And so if Bones is deficiencies, if you want to call them that, like are all on the defensive end. And but you're right. Like he's a transcendent offensive player. There's just really no limit to what he's able to do. And the more confident he feels, the more like I don't know. He's like the other things we've seen him play in big moments. He also is a gamer too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's a
it's
gamer.
like I'm so like coming into the season, I was so high on Bones, and he
got sick.
You've seen a little bit. It's ebbed and flowed a little bit, but like overall, I mean, this guy, this is his second year in the league, and he's getting better and better and better. And I don't know. He's just going to be a huge role player for the Denver Nuggets moving forward.
He's a perfect Jokic ball player.
Right.
He can do all of the things that you want a guy to do when he's playing alongside
On
Jokic.
offense. On offense.
Exactly. But, the slashing, the finishing at the rim, the shooting, obviously, and then that all, we talked about the two-man. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, but it says here Bones is on the Jordan Poole rise. Like, he saw baddies, dude. He saw baddies, obviously. At the
I love that anytime Jordan Poole this is like all we'd ever say whenever Jordan Poole is referenced. This was a huge game from Bones. I love the option. I mean, when Bones first rose last year without Murray, we started wondering, like, it'd be cool if you could close with both of them in certain circumstances, not all the time. And tonight you got to do that. And Jamal didn't even have it going, but it just didn't. It was so nice to have a back. Imagine if you had a backup Jokic. Imagine if you had a second Jokic that was maybe like not quite as good, but almost as good, that you could just be like, you know what, tonight we're going to the other Jokic.
Yeah, right? We're going to Jokic 2.
Jokic 2.0 or something. And it was great to see. I thought this was a big game for Bones, and I'm glad that Michael Malone gave him the leash. Speaking of giving him a longer leash, Christian Braun tonight I thought had an interesting game. He had 8 points. I thought he had more points than that and 1 rebound. So stat line's not that impressive. But he had a couple like really nice drives, just dynamic plays. And we were sitting there talking. I'm a big Christian. I'm thinking I might be the biggest Christian Braun guy.
You're the largest resident of Browntown.
I own so much real estate on Browntown right now. But one of the things I say is I think already his defense is like up there at the best of the Nuggets. But offensively, I just think he's going to be at worst, net neutral offensive player in very short order. I don't know that he's ever going to be let's give him the ball. But I think he'll be a decent shooter. And he had some straight line drives over the last 3-4 games, including tonight, that you're like, yo, that's not every player can do that, where you drive and finish through contact or whatever. He had a dunk tonight that was really great.
His game is he just plays strong.
He does play strong. Yeah,
like more than anything, like he's unflappable. We've talked about this. Like he just has like a quiet, like I don't even know if you call it confidence. He's just like you don't see emotion out of him, which is confusing. Like you really think that he's gonna just be, screaming in guys' faces and like.
I asked him about this the other day at practice, and the video's up on the DNVR where I said like one of the things out of the draft we heard is that other fans are going to hate you because you can like talk trash. I said, when do you think we'll see that? And he kind of laughed and he goes, honestly, man, it'll come natural. And he said he kind of referenced like I'm still just kind of getting my footing and this and that, but he's like it's not something I plan or think about. It just happens where you just start screaming or in the guy's face. So my read on it was I think he's kind of like almost ready to start doing that. Tonight he had a dunk, and I do think that like maybe in a month's time, if he's playing well, that dunk will have a little bit of like Bones dunk. Yeah, well, how Bones will like almost get a tech from his trash talk.
Yes.
He had one tonight. He dunked it tonight, Bones did actually. And I thought he was going to get a tech because he like ran over to the other bench. And I was like,
dude, the only time I've heard an opposing fan base have any like negative feelings towards Christian Braun was when we beat the Bulls. And they were like, I don't know about this Christian Braun guy, but it's just because he like visually reminds them of Grayson Allen, who they hate.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair.
That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. Let's talk about Jamal Murray's night. We haven't seen this Jamal, man. I mean, Jamal's been on such a run. We, on this very show, declared him back.
He's back to not being back.
He's back to not being back. He had 5 points tonight. I mean, he did have 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and he was a plus 19. But it didn't. I mean, it had almost nothing to do with him tonight. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a rude way, but tonight he just moped up and down the court.
Absolute non-participant.
To only get 6 shots up is itself weird.
I would like to know how many times he even had the ball in his hands. Like it felt like several times down the court he just kind of floated away and watched Jokic do his thing and jogged back. It was very, very odd. And I think that shot that you mentioned earlier, where he just chucked it from 35 feet or whatever it was,
after Jokic had made 8 in a row.
And completely airballed it, and then didn't even it didn't even look like he had a reaction to that.
Yeah.
Other than just like, yeah, whatever. It was odd. Very
I
odd.
hope this doesn't carry over, man.
Here's what we know about Jamal.
Nothing carries over.
Nothing carries over. It doesn't matter. One game we're like, well, there it is. And then he's like terrible. We're like, man, do we have to trade him? And then he's incredible. It's like Jamal. This is just the topsy-turvy, up and down Jamal Murray season. It's just like there's absolutely no consistency. This has been a hallmark of his entire career, but this is even more exaggerated this season.
I'm going to say he's still back.
Still back.
Just had an off night.
Yeah, I mean, if he was like 3 of 11, he had an off night.
Yeah.
2 of 6 was like, I don't know, man. This was a weird game. I'm not saying it's a big deal. I'm just saying it's a very noteworthy bad game.
Because he wasn't like making bad plays, taking bad shots, missing it. He just wasn't engaged.
Right.
He just was a non-participant. So you're like, is there something emotionally going on? You start to get into areas that you shouldn't be in when you're analyzing basketball. But like it felt like a more mental than anything.
Maybe he
else.
just had a bad day.
I mean, honestly,
that's what I mean. Like maybe his like dad yelled at him or something.
Oh man.
Anything.
Harrison said he asked Monte who should be Mr. Nugget.
Oh.
Hopefully he'll give his answer when he joins the show.
What a tease.
I love that he said that, man. I can't wait to get these two on from the arena. I feel like it's going to be an all-timer from the arena
Yes,
tonight.
it is.
A note here, and I didn't really think of it until I was going through the notes here. DeAndre Jordan's a minus 12 in 13 minutes, and whatever. Sometimes plus minus can be misleading, but when you think about how small they were tonight, I mean, they played some lineups with like Avdia at the 5. Tonight felt like it probably might have been a good Zeke opportunity. We talk about the like, is that a flexible spot? Is there a spot to get Zeke in the game? The one thing I'll say about the Zeke stuff, and the discourse is almost like jump the shark, right? Like we've been talking about it so much now that we can't just do the same dance every game, but I will say, when you're 27th in defense, isn't everything on the table? At some point, don't you just go like, you know what, we should maybe try something else? And when a team is not beating you in the interior tonight, they were not getting shots like inside and killing you. They were getting 3-pointers. Don't you think, well, maybe we should try to play a switch everything lineup so they're not getting, kick threes or whatever, like chase threes. And tonight, that's what they were getting. Let's take it sounds like we have somebody from the arena coming in. So first we'll get to our last break so we can sprint through that. And RK will help us with that. First, he's going to tell us about Breckenridge Brewery.
Oh, that's an easy one. I recently had the Buddy Pass from Breckenridge Brewery.
I don't even know about this.
It's actually right there. I think there's one in the bucket right now. I think it's called the Buddy Pass because it's strong enough for 2. It is a strong beer. That's a serious beer. That's not like a joking around beer.
Or it's a beer that if you drink it, you should have a buddy with you.
Yes. If you drink too many, you're gonna need a buddy to drive.
I've had one of these. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but it's also like smooth and tasty. I think it's an oatmeal stout to be exact. They also have the Holidale Kale. Slaps. 10 out of 10.
You call it a Holidale?
It is the Holidale.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I kind of like that name, Holidale.
Holidale loves the Holidale.
The number one thing with Breckenridge Brewery this time of year, the Christmas Ale keg. I've been saying this on our podcast.
Oh boy, this is a touchy subject on this podcast.
You should be the Christmas Ale keg guy.
Oh, you don't know what you're opening.
If you walk into a party with the Christmas Ale keg guy, everyone's like, "Wow, that guy."
You opened a can of worms.
That's the guy.
On this very set.
Oh no.
Harrison Wynn boldly proclaimed he himself could take down one of those kegs. No problem.
That night.
Yeah. So he's never he's never even attempted to do it. He just made this bold proclamation. He's doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on it. Never even made the attempt. We have one back here. Harrison.
Let's go, Harrison.
Let's go.
When I was after my senior prom, we had a keg. And we were like using this like the Simply orange juice carton. It's not like a gallon. It's like something smaller than that. I was like, I think I can chug a whole one of those of beer. And all of my friends were like, no, you cannot. And I was like, if I just don't stop, I feel like I could just chug as much as I want.
It's like so bad for your
stomach. I failed miserably. I got like maybe a third of the way.
Oh, that's rough. That's really rough. You regretted it immediately.
Yes, so much regret.
Anyway, drink the pony cake. The Game Time app.
Oh, the best way to go to games. The Nuggets tickets. What's weird about this is that when you go to a Nuggets game, it is not empty by any stretch of the mind. But when you go on Game Time, you can get Nuggets tickets for insanely cheap.
I know.
On a night like tonight, you probably could have gotten in the door for $5 with game time. And it's really cool because normally when you're doing that, it's like an empty Coors Field on a Tuesday night. No, like you're getting $5 to go into a great atmosphere. I'm sure the guys will tell us when they come on the show that the atmosphere in Ball Arena tonight was great. So get over to Game Time. Use the link in the description to get your tickets to any game. If you want to go see the Broncos this week, you could probably do it for less than $50.
Oh, dude, you can probably get paid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I am, and I still don't want to go. So there you go. Check out Game Time to get the best deals on tickets. The only place where you get rewarded for procrastinating, which is great for me.
That's right.
Alrighty, perfect. Do we have somebody from the arena now? Why don't we bring them in?
Let's
Let's find out who it is. Who is it? I hope it's Vogt.
God damn it.
Oh, it's Vogt. It's
Me and Vogt are matching.
Oh, and you're like
how
right
embarrassing.
Dude, you should move it up so that Vogt is on top of Arcade and they just match up.
Vogt, we've gone over this so many times. We want the arena in the background so people know you're calling in from the arena.
Yeah. No, I get that. But then when you're actually here, you run into all these barriers like cleaning people and people on the court. And this one's really important, Adam. My laptop was dying. So
I knew that's what it was. All right, what do we got?
all right. Well, we spoke with Michael Malone, as we typically do, after the game. And I thought it was kind of we joked last time he really got on them after a win about the process. I thought he struck a much better balance and tone with it tonight. He
really
did not like the process at all. He was honest about the defense. In the big picture of the Western Conference, 27 is not going to cut it. It's just not going to win the West. But his, I think, energy and positivity about what they did do well tonight was apparent. And he made sure to stress, at the end of the day, it's about winning games, and our record is good. So we're doing some good things out there, you can tell. But the defense just isn't going to cut it long term. And obviously he's right about that, fellas.
This is an all-time lying night from Michael Malone. All-time lying. And I respect it. He needed to tell some sweet lies tonight because I know he's furious. I know he's not going to sleep tonight. But good on him from not going full heel.
Well, his first chance to go full heel, he chose to have a laugh. He said, there was no defensive player of the game tonight because there was no defense in the game.
So he laughed?
He did smile his way through that entire comment.
Oh.
And then he said, but the team actually had a really cool moment because they presented Jokic that Michael Jordan MVP trophy, which is in the building tonight. So
they presented that to him behind closed doors?
That's right, yeah. The team presented it to him. The team.
Oh, man. Jokic's MVPs are the best.
Yep.
The absolute best. No one will ever hear or see of them.
So there were some vibes and reflection behind closed doors tonight on behalf of Europe. Malone did say he had no idea they were that close to the record for points in the paint in a single game. They finished with 98, the most in 25 years or something like that.
What was the record?
I don't know. Obviously over 100. He said DeAndre Jordan pointed it out at some point in the fourth quarter. And Malone said, I know some people wanted us to take that last shot. That's not the way you play the game, especially with a friend on the other side. Of course, Wes Unseld Jr., Monte Morris, Will Barton. So the Washington Wizards guys, they get them under tonight. They held them under 100 points in the paint. Good job. Good job, Washington.
In the comments, they're saying 100 was the record.
Oh, come on, dude.
But think about all those KCP smoked layups if you really want to. I'm sorry. Malone, he doesn't like winning games when it's just offense. That's got to change at some point. But then he stopped himself again, laughed, and said, I guess it's better than losing games with defense. So
Malone's so funny. This is the thing. He should have just been Mike D'Antoni and been like, I'm an offensive guru. Then his job would be so secure.
Yeah, it is true.
He's a genius.
He have Golden State assistant gigs for the rest of his life.
Can you imagine if he branded himself as that? He really would have 40 straight years of head coach jobs lined up for him. Instead, he's like, I'm a defensive coach on an offensive team.
The entire time through Jokic's absolutely unbelievable offensive career.
He could have gone down as a top 3 offensive mastermind in NBA history.
Every night we'd be like, well, there's no defense, but listen, we've got the absolute GOAT behind the bench.
Think of all the
30 years. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, think of all the offensive coordinators that Peyton Manning got head coaching jobs.
It's so true. It's so true.
Malone was the first player in the modern era to really run it through the center.
What I mean? It's all Malone. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so Malone was asked to reminisce and get reflective about that Jokic MVP trophy. And he said, when I reminisce, I think we started our season trying to play Jokic and Nurkic together, and Nikola came to me almost with tears in his eyes. I feel like that's a new wrinkle to the story. Almost with tears.
It gets better every year. I love this.
And he says, please take me out of the lineup. It's just not working. And I said to myself, what are we doing? And that's a defining moment in the franchise's history.
I love
it was
that
just
we go
one of
back
those
every
bang
year.
your head against the wall moments. Like, what the hell am I doing? Keep it simple, stupid. And obviously, that was the good call in the long run, starting Jokic at center.
I love it,
A
man.
Jokic miracle.
A Slava miracle for sure. I'm so happy.
Caught up with Monte Morris and Will Barton after the game. Spoke with Will Barton pregame as well. And got to say, fellas, two distinct, different approaches, reactions to this game from those parties respectively. We'll start with Monte, who did get emotional about it, or reflective, I should say. You know, let those feelings come in. First of all, important update: the tooth that he chipped is not a real tooth. I think it was a veneer, or maybe it had been chipped previously, and so the restoration was fake. So he was not worried about re-chipping it. He said he's going to go get it fixed right now.
He looked like Lloyd Christmas.
On Jokic. Lloyd Jokic.
Yeah, Lloyd Jokic.
Obviously, Monte and Will played well tonight, and I asked Monte, I know you're about wins and losses, but did you find joy in playing well in this building again? And he said it definitely felt good, but I mean, I feel like we had them right where we wanted them. You know, a 5-point game late, we wanted to win this, but it did feel good to come back and play well with the fans. This game definitely was circled on my calendar. Asked him if it felt, for obvious reasons, different than the other road games he's played so far in his career. And he said, yeah, it felt different. The love was there. I was talking to their bench the whole game. I was engaging with their crowd the whole game. For me, this felt like a home game.
Hell yeah.
And then he slipped in, and I know the rims too. The rims felt good. And I said, yeah, it looked like it. And he said, yeah, a lot of buckets in here. So Monte was in a playful mood, man, and I'll actually just sitting here waiting to come on. You know, most of the cameras are well out of here by now. Monte Morris has been walking around, dapping up staff from, you know, top to bottom in the organization.
Mr. Goddamn Nugget.
He just went over, man, and embraced and caught up with superfan Vicky. Like, no one's even watching. This is a one-on-one moment, and that's what Monte's about. So, you know, no surprise to hear him say it felt like a home game, because that connection, I think, between he and Denver is still there, still alive and well.
I love that.
I asked him if it's fun to play against Jokic in any way, and he said, hell nah, it ain't fun being on the other side. I knew he was dominant, but actually trying to stop him, it's next level, man. And I was like, yeah, like being in those huddles trying to game plan against him, and he just starts shaking his head.
That's funny. How was the reception, by the way, or like the video and those kind of things?
The videos were good. I think they were about 90 seconds a pop. They ran them each right out of the first 2 breaks of the game. They ran the Will one first and then the Monte one. You know, Kyle Speller, you get a camera shot on each of them. He introduces them to the crowd. And good reactions, good ovations. For anyone curious, no booing at all.
Good.
You know, love
stays.
I'm back.
Yeah, love for some fellas that really helped get the Nuggets from point A to point B. And Malone talked about this. Will talked about this pregame and postgame. You know, they won't, if this team ever wins, those guys won't be there, but that doesn't mean they didn't play a role, right, in getting this team from where it once was to where it is now. So some important players in Nuggets history, and a fun night, I think, in Ball Arena. Wrap up on Monte here. He said the ovation was big time for him. Just being able to have an ovation and being able to play in this building, it showed him how much groundwork he put in here. It means a lot to him.
Sweet.
Talked with Will Barton. Very, very, very different experiences.
Oh, man.
I said, was there any joy playing well in this building again? But I know you're all about wins and losses. And he said, no. Right off the bat, no. Damn. First of all, he knows he can play at that level. He's seen himself do it in this building many a times. It's what he expects from himself. It's not a surprise to him to play that well. For him, it was all about coming in here on a losing streak and trying to get a win. That's all he wanted. He wanted to win this game. He was disappointed they lost. You could tell he was disappointed. It was palpable. And he really insisted that this was just another game to him. Whereas Monte freely admitted he had it circled. I think for Will, it was about his new team coming in here and helping them get a win, and they couldn't do that. And I think that bothered him. He did stop when asked about the ovation and say it meant a lot to him. It meant a lot to him. And this is what he was talking about pregame. He was asked about his favorite memory in a Denver uniform, and he went to a team moment. He said it was winning that first playoff series against San Antonio. And because for him, it's about what we just talked about, being a part of something, laying down the foundation, helping Denver get from where they were to something different, something bigger, something better. That means a lot to him, and it always will. So that's what the ovation meant to Will. But, as far as playing well against this team and all that, it meant nothing to him. He just wanted the win.
All right. Well, that's all right.
I think you got two very different reactions to that trade, I think there was,
of course.
So, and that is what it is. But for me, it was really fun to see Thrill in here playing well again, especially if it didn't spoil a Nuggets win. So shout out to two Nuggets legends, I'll say, in the way that fans talk about guys. And not everyone's a star. Some guys are role players, and those were two damn good ones.
Will Barton, you 9 assists tonight. You can go ahead and talk a little trash there, Vogt. I know you want to.
I mean, that's just, I thought he never passed or whatever.
There you go.
He said it was no surprise to him. And I'll tell you what, it's no surprise to me. That's a guy that looks for bigs, pretty good with the ball in his hands. Will Barton was a good player, man, and he got hurt, and it prevented him from being great when the Nuggets needed him to be great. But I'll just say, I've seen other athletes get hurt in that way, and it's sympathy. It's grace extended to them. Will got hurt, and it felt like
he looks mad tonight. He's like,
from some people,
it's like a different energy.
Some people that rug was pulled out from him. There was no sympathy. They blamed him from injuries that were symptoms of what he gave to the team. So I'm proud of everyone who didn't boo, who cheered tonight. And
did he get booed?
No, he did not.
Okay, good.
It was the appropriate reaction, and
good.
For as loud as a minority of the fan base,
that's what it is. Just internet trolls, man.
I think most people really love Thrill, and you could feel that tonight. So a fun night in ball.
Right on. Anything else?
If you were holding your breath for the playoff defense, keep holding it.
Still holding my breath, man. Actually, I'm not. I'm actually no longer holding it. Tonight was the night. All right. Thanks so much, Vogt.
All right,
take it home. Tonight really is the night that I exhaled.
Yeah, you're just like, whatever.
I'm just like, well, they're not doing that. Because I really predicted it tonight with a little rest. They were going to come out and whatever. And it was like.
No, they're not going to play defense all year. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think they will in the playoffs.
I mean,
here's the thing. The Nuggets haven't been good in the playoffs, though, the last few years. Like, they beat the Blazers with offense. That was an offensive battle. It was a track meet, and they out-tracked them. And then the Warriors, that was a track meet too, where Denver kind of almost went toe-to-toe from game 3, 4, 5. But Utah, track meet. That's my point is Denver hasn't stepped up defensively in the playoffs. They've just matched it on offense. And
I just think that AG has another gear that he can go to if he needs to.
Gear 1.
Yeah, KCP has that gear.
Yeah.
Bruce, I think, has that gear as well.
I'm telling you, they got to get longer at that. That's the one spot to me that I'm just you got to get longer.
I really think a lot of it is when the real intended lineup comes in, things shift and then.
Oh, I cannot wait. I am telling you, I cannot wait for Michael Porter Jr. to save the defense. I can't wait till he comes back maybe on Sunday or whatever, which I kind of think is somewhat likely to happen. If not, whenever he comes back. You know how we used December 15th as the holy day? I can't wait till it's the Nuggets were 21st in defense. But if you look at the date when Michael Porter returned, they're top 5 defense.
We go from Yokmas right into D-Day. It's the day that the defense turned.
I just love it, man. Where the hell is Harrison Wind?
I don't know, but we do have Superchats.
Let's do that.
Superchats.
We're going long today, but why not? What do we got? Oh, I'm supposed to read. Actually, who can read this?
It's an example of Jokic vengeance this year. Miles Turner blocked him twice, and he proceeded to score on him 3 times in a row.
I love it. Don't remember it at all because my memory's terrible. But I do remember the Nuggets winning.
From Dreamweaver, shout out to the Thrill. All the Nuggets, ex-Nuggets are good. Let's go, dude. Anyone that's ever put on a Nuggets uniform is good. It's true.
Even Kostas Papanikolaou.
Oh, even Kostas Papanikolaou, who, by the way, we saw play in Eurobasket. He's still playing.
Yeah,
Let's
he
go.
still exists.
He does still exist. Let's see. Alejandro. We can complain all we want about the defense, but this offense is coming into form with this home stand. Jokic is undeniable as an MVP favorite.
I love
LFG.
it as a favorite. I mean, he might be
Tonight's
there.
tonight.
Here's one thing I will say, because I just checked it. The Nuggets have been number 2. I mean, they've gotten there. They are within striking distance of the Boston Celtics. Celtics have a 7-game homestand right now coming up, so they're going to probably get good again on offense. But, like, Denver, at one point, it was like, Boston's offense is such an outlier. Unbelievable. Denver's right there now. 1.3 points behind them per 100 possessions. And I'm telling you, those two numbers are going like this.
Let's go.
So,
Let's freaking go. Super chat.
$1.
Let's go. I love that. What a great succinct super chat. First of all, shout out D-Line. Wow.
go.
Who's this from? D-Line? Love you, man. Didn't realize how much I took the beauty of Jokic running the Nuggets offense for granted. Some other differences, offense cough, Lakers cough, are so horrible to watch. You're not wrong. And mostly because just the Lakers are a loathsome organization and everything about them is terrible.
it's so true. We value defense, and it is like
Every
important.
Laker is bad.
Every Laker is bad. And it is really important. But I will say, the Broncos have been phenomenal on defense and terrible on offense. Unwatchable. Nuggets are
So
phenomenal
bad.
on offense, terrible on defense. Supremely watchable.
So true.
So, could be worse.
Offense is watchable. Defense is tough. Okay, let's see. Starting the discourse now. AG is an all-star. Get him in the game. Spread the word. Fire up the propaganda machine. AG for all-star. Let's go. We can make this happen.
So Bucket since '88 in the DNVR Discord. By the way, one of the sneaky great reasons to become a DNVR diehard, you get access to the private chat, which is like Twitter but for Nuggets fans only.
Yeah.
It's really great. He put us an A. You know the AB, like A is these stats, B is these stats. He put one out today that I thought was phenomenal, and everybody took B. You know who A was, or vice versa? Mikal Bridges. Again, a defensive impact's hard to quantify, and Mikal Bridges is phenomenal. But if you just look at their offense, like AG smokes him. Kind of interesting.
Unbelievable. Dylan Smith said, 3P incoming, Bones 6-man, and Aaron Gordon for All-Star game. Speaking into existence. Let's
You
go,
know what?
dude.
Let's try to make that.
We're making it happen, dude.
You know
AG
what?
for All-Star.
Can we also get AG vengeance in the dunk contest while we're at it?
Yeah, dude. Let's have him score a 51, dude. Get extra credit.
No, you're not in on that?
I don't care.
Adam doesn't care. Adam doesn't love fun. Do you know
Yeah,
that?
I don't really like that.
Another MVP game from both Jokic and D-Line.
Wow.
But
Man,
God,
what
do
is
I
going on
Stop
tonight?
this.
What is going on tonight? He complained the whole game. Wasn't he a downer? He's a little wet blanket down there. It's like, geez.
You people don't realize, like, if anyone outside of this circle shows me any sort of
it's
like
the worst.
compliment or anything, like the mood sours so deeply. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
didn't hit his 3-point man.
You see this?
shot.
Do you see this?
That was literally him earlier.
Yeah, that was me. But God, do I miss Monte and peak thrill. And Jamal definitely isn't back. I really do hope he's okay. Go Nugs.
Jamal's so weird tonight, man.
Steve May in the bar with us.
Yeah,
Watched the
we hung out
game.
with Steve May
Already made
today.
it back watching the show and super chatting. Dude, Steve May for the All-Star game?
Maybe.
Missed my 14-leg by
Parlay.
one Kenny Pope 3. But looks like I hit my 20-leg on a Wolves Clippers. Always watch the game at the DNVR if you're able. At the DNVR bar if you're able. It's so true.
Let's go. Steve
so
will tell
true.
you Eric is not at the MVP of the game.
Yeah, he knows the real.
Steve, would you put in the chat? Was I indeed the MVP of the game?
Definitely not.
Ryan Kill. I swear the wind chimes on my front porch whispered Braun. Excuse me. Good players should be in the rotation the rest of the season. Thanks, fellas.
The wind whispered Brown. That's such a terrible sentence. The wind whispered Brown.
The wind chimes whispered
It's
Braun.
kind of like when you could smell Greeley outside. That's the
exactly
wind
what
whispering
it is.
Brown.
Oh, no. 'Twas the night before Yokemouth, and all through the can, the arena was cheering for our MVP man.
Hell yeah.
Merry Yokemouth to all, and to all a good night.
I love it. Great super chat. What a
Unbelievable.
phenomenal super chat, man. Harrison Wind is walking upstairs as we speak. He just got done with Yoke, who, by the way, was in another suit. I'm telling you, man,
Different man.
Different man.
Different
Holiday
man.
Jokic.
Different
I
man.
can't. Every year we learn a little bit more about him. He really does feel the holiday spirit, and it turns out his calendar is completely different because Slava. It's been a thing, and honestly, he did get the MVP trophy. We found out tonight. I'm not saying that was why he dominated. I think he dominated because he was going up against guys that were 70 pounds lighter than him, and he was just like, "This is gonna be easy." But it is kind of like holiday spirit, you know. He's got
telling you,
family
man.
in town, home
Wokeness.
cooking. They're home for a lot of Jokic.
Everyone set a reminder for yourself in your phone next year, 1 year from now, and just or at the beginning of the season. And then it says Jokic is not going to be that good for about.
No,
10
he
games.
is going to be good, just
But
not in the ways that
to-
are the most fun.
It's not going to be to the level that you want, and he's going to come back and we're going to be like, oh, he doesn't not want to play.
Jokic is literally
blah, blah,
shooting
blah.
the best percentages of his career. Like, he actually has been supremely dominant. It's just not in the funnest way. He's like the set the table fun. Then when he goes, you know what? I'm going to go 43 points on 17 shots fun. It's like way more fun. And that's where we're at right now. I can't believe we have to stall until he gets here. Should we go around the association really quickly? We probably won't make it all the way.
Did you see the Bull play tonight?
No, did he have a great play?
Yeah, he had a sick like spin move through the legs, spin move, dunk,
Wow.
and then people are like, "This guy didn't even play in Denver."
Yeah, that is what they say. You want to know? Listen to these scores tonight, guys. Nuggets win 141-128. Pistons win 141-134. Wow. And then you get Magic win 135-124. Raptors lose 124-123 to the Kings. Knicks 128-120. How many teams scored 120 tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 teams scored 120 tonight. And by the way, one team
12
scored
days of
119. The Warriors couldn't get to 120. They only got to
12 games of
119.
Jokic.
Is that
Washed.
insane? Dude,
Truly
I'm telling
insane.
you, the NBA, people don't understand this. The NBA is like a gimmick at the moment. The teams have gotten too good at shooting threes, and everything's a foul. So right now, you can't guard anyone, and every team scores 120 points. All right, we got Harrison live from the arena.
What's up, guys?
What's up, buddy? Look
Man,
at you
how
with
can
look at you with the proper setup with the arena in the back. Well done, Harrison. Very, very.
This is what you can expect from me. This professionalism.
Such a great Harrison response. All right, take us behind the scenes, man. What'd you see tonight?
I mean, you got to put this up there with, Nikola Jokic's most dominant, I think would be the word, games of his career. I mean, he missed 3 shots tonight. 2 of them were from 3. One of them was from 2-point range. I think he ended up getting the offensive rebound and making the basket on that possession. Just absolute dominance, and I don't even feel like he played that hard.
Yeah, and one of the other misses was a full court heave that hit for
I know.
him.
He actually didn't miss tonight.
Yeah.
All 3 of his misses had context that were like, yeah, that doesn't count.
Yep.
Yeah. And like he has for really this entire season, I feel like he didn't put out close to, 100% effort.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to. My buddy Matt Moore was texting me this as well. I'm not having any of it. You don't score those points without effort, man. I know it's like he didn't. Sometimes he doesn't look like he's diving on the floor, but come on.
Third quarter, he definitely turned it. I thought he turned it all the way on.
Yes, he he shot the ball 8 times in a row. He never does that.
Maybe a better way to put it was it wasn't hard for him.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that was definitely. I mean, are you kidding?
hard to count that against him.
Yeah, very hard to count that against him.
Yeah.
All right, take us behind the scenes. We're long tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I was only at the podium for when Nikola Jokic talked. I was hanging out in the locker room for a little bit. I was trying to get a sneak peek at the trophy, which I never did. So after the win, the Nuggets and Michael Malone presented Jokic with the Michael Jordan MVP trophy. So I was trying to get a sneak peek of that. I never did. The Nuggets were trying to get Jokic to bring the trophy up to the podium with him, which I thought would have been cool. He wasn't having that.
I cannot
And
believe this guy.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
we
then,
don't get these things.
And then I can report the trophy, I believe, was misplaced for a moment just about 5 minutes ago. And Nikola Jokic, I think, was already in his car, but not with the trophy.
My God.
A Nuggets staffer then frantically was wheeling the trophy out to him in the parking garage.
Wheeling it out? You have to wheel it out?
I
Well,
love that,
it's in like a suitcase.
I
Like
love
a
that
rolling
Jokic
suitcase.
treats the inaugural Michael Jordan MVP trophy the same way I treat my power cord. Like, oh God, I forgot it. It worked. Oh Jesus.
Like my water bottle.
Yeah, dude.
Dented up on the bottom.
Yeah, I
Unbelievable,
saw a
man.
Nugget staffer wheeling the trophy out to his car right before I hopped on the show.
Unbelievable. Great detail, Win. Excellent work, man.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's another detail from the post game. I caught up with Monte Morris for a second. I asked him who should be the new Mr. Nugget.
Oh, I love this. First of all, you have to tell us how he responded. Like, did he laugh? What was his, how did he take this?
He laughed for sure. So like he's definitely very well aware of what Mr. Nugget is, what
We
it
know
means,
that.
how much responsibility it holds.
Sure.
Yeah, sure,
That's the one thing that can't be taken
definitely-
lightly.
The gravity of the title, he
The
definitely gets.
responsibility.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But he said that he can't be the one that decides. He
What
said
a
he can't
goddamn
decide.
tease. Unbelievable. Although I said that very thing.
I was prodding him too. I was like, just give me a name. And he wouldn't do it. But I feel like that was very Mr. Nugget of him not to give a name, you know?
So
It's true.
dumb.
If he were to,
It's so dumb.
if he were to give a name, he
would've
he would have been removed. Like his former Mr. Nugget would have been erased from the history book.
It's like Reggie Bush's Heisman.
Yes.
This is like a Shaolin
Rescinded.
test or something.
Yes.
And he passed and he ascends to a higher order
Vacated
of
Mr. Nugget.
Dude, unbelievable.
So dumb.
I can't believe Mr. Nugget is a wizard.
That really is tough.
I know he's still holding the title.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. But I was in the room or at the podium when, Nikola Jokic was talking without the trophy on the table as well. But he did talk for a little. He was just asked about, getting the trophy, what he thought of it. He said it's cool, it's unique. It's very nice to be the first one. And then he kind of went on to say how he was supposed to get the trophy a couple months ago, and he's glad that he finally has it.
All right.
All right.
Then he forgot it.
And then
I know. Finally, I got it. Now I can forget it.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of Malika Andrews holding that trophy. And it was like half as tall as she is.
It's like a
it's
full
big.
vote.
Yeah, it's like a large thing.
Yeah, it seems like a bigger trophy than it used to be. Jokic was also asked about December 15th. It's coming up here in an hour and 15 minutes.
He hates everything. For sure he hates all this.
Buddy, yeah. Brother, I don't give a shit. Let me guess.
Well, I'll say he actually had like a really awesome answer about this. He was asked just, looking back, how does he kind of reflect on the last 6 years, his personal growth, what he's been through. And he said, when he thinks back on that moment, what he thinks about is all the connections with the people who work with the Nuggets and at the arena on a daily basis. And he said he thinks that's, the thing that's going to stay with him the longest. He said, yeah, the numbers are going to be on a wall or whatever, hopefully. But he said, I think the connection with the people I talk to on a daily basis is going to be the thing I remember forever.
It means us.
You might mean me.
Yeah, okay.
He was asked what he's going to do with the Monte Morris jersey he got. Him and Monte swapped jerseys at the end of this game. He said that he's going to send it back to Serbia, where he kind of described a museum honoring his NBA career that's going to be like in his house or something one day.
A shrine to himself.
Yeah, he was describing like a shrine that
A shrine
he will
he'll
eventually
never
have.
visit.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And then about the defense. He said, we are not where we're supposed to be defensively, but we're winning games, which is the most important thing, but we do need to find a way defensively. We need to care more.
That's great.
Yeah.
But it won't happen.
And that's what I got from the Michael Jordan Most Valuable Player Award winner.
Great stuff, man. Anything else before you get out of here?
The Wizards jerseys suck.
They're
That's all.
terrible.
They're
I
awful.
don't mind them. All right, get home safe, buddy. Thanks so much.
I'm buying
Don't
Adam-
forget your MVP trophy.
Don't forget, I'm buying Adam a pink shirt for Christmas.
I can't wait for it.
better
Dude.
wear it,
Pink's my
too.
color.
You better
Okay, I'll
wear
hit that outro music. RK, the Winningsburg. Thanks so much for joining us in the Winners Lounge.
Pleasure was all mine.
You know what, Eric? I guess you were okay today too. I mean, you were okay.
MVP according to some.
Yeah,
They're
according
just
to
wrong.
everyone, apparently. It was Eric the
I'm not even acknowledging the compliment you gave me. I know better than this.
Are you talking about me? That was a real sincere compliment.
I'm not acknowledging. I know
Eric,
the bear trap.
You really are incredible.
Hey, thank
man.
you.
You know what? You're just an amazing man.
This is
You are an incredible.
Cut
man.
the stream, kid.
Guys, we're so we didn't even drink tonight. This game really gave us the giggles tonight. Yoke really. All right, we'll read it here on our way out. Evan says, Merry Yokemas from the East Coast. I love it. From the future, you guys.
Yes.
What a glorious game to start the holidays with.
Hell yeah.
We got to get out of here. Great work, everybody. Great work, chat. Great work, Jokic. Great work, Bones. Great work,
make sure,
Arcade.
make sure to leave little horse biscuits out.
One last time, man. Don't forget, Party Bus. 2 for 2 for 2 for 2 for 2. Sign up, thednvr.com.
Let's
Adios,
go.
everybody.